My wife was sleeping with our daughter's teacher. I didn't confront her. I just started taking everything away. She told me not to come. Just a parent-teacher thing, she said. Test scores, classroom stuff. Boring. Stay home with Lily. Order something. Relax. She kissed me like she meant it. 20 minutes later, she was kissing someone else. I didn't confront her. I didn't even move. I just watched. From my phone. In our living room. With Lily's head on my shoulder, breathing softly as she fell asleep. That night, I wasn't a husband. I was a camera. Watching everything. The dash cam I installed 2 weeks earlier had finally paid off. Motion alert, 8:13 p.m. She was in the school parking lot, standing beside Ryan Blake, Mr. Blake to our daughter. Gym teacher. Young. Fit. The kind of guy who laughs too loud and gets away with it. The kind who flirts without calling it flirting. The kind who knows exactly what he's doing. She leaned in, touched his arm, smiled the way she hadn't smiled at me in a long time. Then she kissed him. No hesitation. No glance around. Just two people who'd done this before, who knew the rhythm of it. Familiar. Comfortable. He said something through the window. She laughed again, touched his face. And I sat there, watching, holding my phone like it was the only thing tethering me to the floor. I didn't blink. I didn't feel heat in my chest. No burst of fury. Just stillness. Cold, deliberate stillness. She walked through the door 25 minutes later like nothing had happened. Hair slightly fluffed. Eyes bright. That glow she hadn't had in months. She dropped her bag on the table. Meeting was brutal, she said, kicking off her shoes. I handed her the glass of wine I'd poured before she even got out of the car. You look pretty happy for someone who just survived a 2-hour meeting. She gave a little shrug. It wasn't that bad. Ryan, Mr. Blake, kept things light. He's funny. Yeah, I said. I bet he is. She blinked, just for a second. Then she smiled again, took a sip, and walked into the kitchen. We went through the usual nighttime rituals. Lily already asleep. Dishes. Lights. Teeth. Ashley curled up next to me in bed like we were fine. Like we were still us. She drifted off fast. I stared at the ceiling, the kiss playing in my mind, frame by frame. I could see it clearer than any memory we'd made in the last year. I didn't sleep. I didn't even try. In the morning, I made breakfast like always. Pancakes for Lily. Coffee for Ashley. She kissed my cheek as she grabbed her purse. You're amazing, she said. I watched her drive away. Still smiling. Still glowing. I opened my laptop, and I started a folder. Not for evidence. Not for revenge. For clarity. Because I wasn't going to yell. I wasn't going to cry. I was going to dismantle her world. Quietly. Systematically. With precision. 2 weeks earlier, I started to suspect something was off. Nothing big. Just shifts. Her phone never left her side. Always face down. Always locked. New makeup routine before school pickup. Late night showers. Quieter dinners. And then Lily said it. The one sentence that didn't let go. Mr. Blake says mommy's really funny. Funny. Ashley hadn't laughed around me in months. So I followed instinct. Installed the dash cam. Placed a GPS tracker under the driver's seat. Created a hidden drive. I didn't know what I was looking for yet. But I knew I'd know it when I saw it. That kiss wasn't the only moment. Over the next few days, I built a timeline. Texts. Screenshots. Voicemails. I got everything. Even Lily helped, without meaning to. She had an old iPad. I checked it one night while she slept. There was a TikTok draft saved to her account. A video from the back seat of Ashley's car. Ashley and Mr. Blake laughing in the front seats. His hand on the console. Her hand on his. And Ashley's voice, barely above a whisper. Don't tell Daddy, okay? It's our little secret. She was talking about a Starbucks drink. I think. But it didn't matter. The words were there. And that was enough. I didn't confront her. I didn't want an apology. I wanted truth. And she didn't know how to give that anymore. So I waited. And while I waited, I started talking to people. Parents. Neighbors. A guy I know who works with the school board. Turns out Mr. Blake had a reputation. Turns out this wasn't his first time. Just the first time someone was watching. And this time, he picked the wrong husband. She recorded herself with him. Not in bed. Not in a hotel. Worse. In her car. With her daughter in the back seat. Laughing. Flirting. Whispering things she thought no one else would hear. Except I did. Because I checked Lily's iPad. And there it was, a TikTok video in drafts. Unposted, unfinished, but real. Ashley and Ryan Blake, faces lit by the late afternoon sun. music playing faintly in the background. She leans over. He touches her hand. Lily giggles. Then Ashley turns to her and says, "Don't tell Daddy, okay? This is just our little fun thing." The video ends. I watched it 3 times. Not because I didn't believe it, but because I did. And somewhere deep in my stomach, something snapped into place. This wasn't just cheating. It was betrayal turned into routine, into playtime, into something they felt safe enough to let my daughter witness. That was the line. Not the kiss. Not the lies. Not even the wine-soaked alibis. It was this, that she could smile like that, knowing Lily was watching. That she could laugh about it. I backed up the video, saved it to an encrypted folder. Then I called an old friend, Greg. Greg works in school compliance. Not local, but close enough. He's seen everything. Teachers who cross lines, cover-ups, messy firings. I didn't tell him who the teacher was. I just asked, what's the best way to report a teacher having an inappropriate relationship with a parent if the kid is involved? Greg didn't ask questions. He just said, documentation, pattern, context. Then make it go through a third-party complaint. Anonymous if possible. I already had all 3. Meanwhile, Ashley kept acting like nothing was wrong. Smiles in the morning. Texts during the day. That everything's fine persona that made my skin crawl now. Every word she said started to feel like a parody of a marriage. You're such a good dad. Lily's lucky to have you. You always make everything easier. All while she was still messaging him. Yes, I had the phone cloned. Encrypted copy. Synced silently to a cloud drive I controlled. I didn't read everything. Not at first. But when I did, that's when the last illusion fell. Here's a taste of what I read. Ashley, you make me feel seen. Ryan, I want to take you away from all of it. Ashley, I hate lying to him, but I don't feel guilty. Is that awful? Ryan, no. He's emotionally checked out anyway. I can feel it. They had built a whole version of me in their little world. The absentee husband. The cold provider. The man too busy to notice his wife falling apart. It was a fantasy, but it helped them sleep at night. They needed to believe I was blind. That's what made the next part so easy. I submitted the complaint anonymously. Attached screenshots. Mentioned the video, but didn't send it. Yet. Named the school. Named the teacher. Explained that multiple parents were concerned. I didn't even have to fabricate the multiple. I just forwarded 3 posts from a local parenting Facebook group where other moms had mentioned how Mr. Blake seems a little too close with some parents. Then I waited. Within 4 days, there was movement. Ryan Blake was temporarily reassigned pending internal review. Ashley got quiet. Not panicked. Just confused. She didn't bring up the reassignment. Didn't mention his name for 3 days straight. I waited. On day 5, she cracked. We were eating dinner. Just the 3 of us. Ashley barely touched her food. Finally, she looked at me and said, "Have you heard anything weird? About the school?" I played dumb. "What kind of weird?" She hesitated. "Mr. Blake. I think he's in trouble or something. There's talk." I didn't blink. Talk about what? I don't know. Somebody reported something. They won't say what. I shrugged. Maybe he crossed a line. Her fork stopped halfway to her mouth. "What do you mean?" "I mean, you never really know people, do you?" She nodded slowly. Said nothing else. But her silence said everything. Later that night, I watched her scroll through her phone while lying in bed. She wasn't smiling. She wasn't glowing. She looked smaller. I almost felt something. Almost. But then I remembered Lily's voice on that TikTok video. "Mommy says it's a secret." And I remembered Ashley laughing with him. While I read bedtime stories alone, I could have ended it there. I had what I needed. Proof. Leverage. A wounded enemy. But I wasn't done. Because I'd found something else. Something buried. Something about Mr. Blake's past. And that was going to make everything much, much worse. For both of them. She thought I'd let it go. That I hadn't noticed. That maybe I didn't care. She was back to pouring coffee in the mornings. Asking me how I slept. Laughing at things Lily said. I lied, of course. I slept great. The truth? I hadn't slept in days. Because while she played the part of a happy wife, I was researching her funny teacher. Ryan Blake. Mr. Blake to our daughter. Her escape. Her fantasy. And my next target. I started where most people stop. Google. Nothing major came up at first. Social media. A few mentions on the school website. PDA newsletters. Then I found a parenting forum thread from 2019. A vague post about a Mr. B at a school in Sherwood, Oregon, about 25 miles from us. The user hinted he'd gotten too close with some of the moms. No names, no proof. Just digital dust. But it stuck with me. I followed the username across platforms. Reddit, Twitter, Facebook. Eventually, I found her. Stephanie Larson. Still in Sherwood. Still active online. I made a burner account and messaged her. Hi. I think a former teacher from your district now teaches at my daughter's school. Ryan Blake. Did something happen back then? She didn't respond for 2 days. Then, he's doing it again? We talked that night. I stayed calm. Just listened. She told me Ryan taught gym at her kid's school from 2017 to 2019. Got friendly with parents. Flirty. Crossed lines. It ended with a confrontation in the school parking lot. A husband caught wind. There was yelling. A fight. No charges. But Ryan resigned a week later. No investigation. No record. Just disappeared. Stephanie had kept receipts. 10 screenshots. A voicemail. All from 2019. Ryan texting one of the moms. You're gorgeous. But this is getting messy. Let's cool off before it turns into drama. To Stephanie. You're not the only one who feels stuck. Trust me. The voicemail? Worse. Let's both pretend this didn't happen. No need to make a scene. That same voice I heard laughing with Ashley in the car. That same calm, practiced tone. I saved everything. Labeled the folder. RB. History. The next morning, I contacted Greg. My old college friend. Now works in school compliance. I sent the file anonymously. Screenshots. Voicemail. Dates. District. I didn't say it was Ashley. Didn't need to. Greg called me later. This is serious. I know. You want to stay anonymous? For now. Okay. I'm flagging it to the district. Ryan Blake was placed on leave the next day. No warning. No soft exit. Just gone. And it didn't take long for Ashley to notice. She came home tense. Didn't say hi. Just went straight to the wine. After her second glass, she finally spoke. Something's happening to Ryan. I stayed silent. She looked up. He's under investigation. But he won't talk to me. Maybe he can't. Why would someone report him? People talk. But why now? I met her eyes. Maybe it finally caught up to him. She didn't respond. Just stared. That night, she went to bed early. Didn't touch her food. Barely said a word. I stayed up. Watched her phone screen light up with no replies. A few days later, the school board made it official. Email to all parents. Mr. Ryan Blake will not be returning to his position at Willow Heights Elementary. There it was. Final. Public. Unfixable. Ashley stayed in bed most of that day. No makeup. No calls. No plans. She asked if I wanted coffee. I said no. She nodded. Left the room. Not a word about Blake. Not a single question. She knew. She just didn't know how much I knew. I almost pitied her. Almost. But then I remembered what she whispered to Lily in that TikTok video. Don't tell Daddy. And just like that, the pity disappeared. I wasn't done. Because Blake was just step one. Now it was her turn. After Ryan Blake was fired, I watched Ashley closely. She didn't panic. Didn't ask if I knew. She just adjusted. Like someone quietly slipping out of the spotlight, hoping no one noticed they were ever in it. She avoided school talk. She stopped saying his name. She smiled more than usual, forced smiles, like a person auditioning for their own life. She thought it was over. But it wasn't. The first crack appeared through Rachel. Her best friend. School mom. PTA co-chair. Close enough to sense something off. They sat in the kitchen one evening, drinking wine. I was with Lily in the next room, pretending not to listen. Rachel's voice dropped. Are you okay? I'm fine. Because people are talking. About what? The school. Ryan. What happened? Ashley stayed silent. Rachel asked quietly. Were you and him involved? Ashley took a breath. No. Just, we talked a lot. He listened. It wasn't anything. But it looked like something. Another pause. I know. That's all she said. But it was enough. The next morning, I opened our old shared Google Photos account. She'd forgotten I still had access. I pulled a few pictures. School fundraisers. Group shots. PTA nights. Ryan and Ashley were in several. Nothing dramatic, just too close. The body language said everything. I didn't post them. I didn't need to. I created a Google Drive folder. Named it Willow Heights Events 2023. Sent it to Rachel. Found some old PTA pics. Thought you might need them for the yearbook. She thanked me. Didn't say much after that. But I saw the folder get opened several times that day. That evening, Ashley found me in the kitchen. Did you send Rachel pictures? Yeah, for the school stuff. Some of those photos look wrong. They're just photos. You know how people twist things. Do they need to twist anything? She stared at me, didn't speak, then turned and walked away. People talk, especially moms, especially when there's a scandal. And I made sure just enough context leaked into the right hands. A neighborhood group chat, an anonymous post. Weird energy at Willow Heights lately. Teacher fired. Parent rumors. Anyone else notice? Chloe, one of the more vocal moms, picked it up instantly. Within hours, the speculation began. No names. No proof. But the word affair floated through comments like perfume. Ashley didn't check the thread, but her friends did. And suddenly, no one was texting her back. She noticed. She didn't say much, but I could see it in the way she clutched her phone longer. Checked it more. Waited for messages that didn't come. And then she asked me over dinner. Do you think people are saying things about me? I looked up. Should they be? No. But I can feel it. Then maybe you already know the answer. She didn't reply. Just pushed her food around her plate. That week, she skipped the PDA meeting. Said she needed space. I didn't ask questions. Didn't need to. The damage was already working its way through the walls she built. A few days later, Lily's teacher called me. Not Ashley. Me. She's asking a lot of questions. About lying. About whether grown-ups always tell the truth. I thanked her for calling. Hung up. Sat in the dark for a while. Because Lily didn't need to know what happened. She already felt it. That night, Ashley sat on the couch with a blanket over her legs, staring at nothing. Did you tell anyone? She asked. No. Then why are people treating me like I did something? People notice things. What things? How often you smiled when he was around. How close you stood. How fast he disappeared after you stopped showing up. Silence. Is that what you think too? It doesn't matter what I think. It matters what you did. She didn't deny it. Didn't cry. Didn't explain. Just sat there. Blank. I checked her phone later that night. Yes, I still had the clone running. No texts from Ryan. No messages from friends. Just silence. A notes app draft with 2 words. I'm sorry. She never sent it. A few days later, she got a call from Rachel. Didn't answer. Then another from someone in the PDA group. Declined. Then nothing. No more calls. No more messages. She sat on the edge of the bed for half an hour staring at the wall. Then finally asked, Did you want this to happen? I looked at her. Did you? She opened her mouth to answer. Then stopped. And walked out of the room. She didn't go to work that week. Didn't go outside. Barely spoke to Lily. Just lingered, like a shadow of herself, fading more each day. And I let her. Because for the first time, she had to live inside the silence she created. I didn't need revenge. This wasn't revenge. This was reality. Raw. Cold. Undeniable. And just when it felt like she might finally break, she said something I didn't expect. Something that froze me in place. And changed everything. It happened on a Thursday. The sky was gray. House was quiet. Lily was at school. Ashley was in the kitchen, pacing in small circles. She'd been like that for an hour. Mumbling. Pouring coffee. Pouring it out. She hadn't spoken to me in 2 days. Not really. Then finally, she sat down across from me. Hands clasped. Voice low. Can I ask you something? I didn't nod. Didn't blink. Just waited. Did you ever actually love me? I stared at her for a second. Not out of shock. Out of calculation. Why are you asking that? Because it feels like you didn't. Or don't. I don't know. Maybe never did. I let out a breath. I loved you. I married you. I built a life with you. I gave you everything I had. You gave me a house. A schedule. A routine. But not you. That's what she said. Not, I'm sorry. Not, I messed up. Not, I betrayed you. No. She flipped it. Tried to make me the problem. You were there, but not really there, she said. You never asked how I was feeling. You never noticed when I was hurting. I wanted to laugh. Not out of humor. Out of disbelief. I was the one cooking, cleaning, holding Lily when she had nightmares. I was there. You were functional, not present. And cheating was your solution to that? No. It wasn't like that. Then what was it like? Her eyes darted down. I don't know. It just happened. We connected. He saw me. There it was again. That line. He saw me. That's what she told her friend. That's what she told him. And now she was telling me. You want to be seen? I said. Because I saw everything. Every message. Every call. Every time you left the room to laugh into your phone like a teenager. Her face froze. I leaned forward. I saw the video. The kiss. The way you touched him. I saw Lily in the back seat. Her hand went in her mouth, slowly. But I didn't stop. I saw you whisper, "Don't tell Daddy." I saw you let her witness something she'll never fully understand. Tears filled her eyes. But I didn't care. Not anymore. "Why didn't you say anything?" she whispered. "Because I wanted you to feel it." Feel what? Exactly what I did. That slow unraveling. The silence. The knowing. But having no one to say it to. No one to scream at. Just the truth, eating you alive. She shook her head. "You wanted to hurt me." "No. I wanted to stop protecting you." She sat there, shaking. I stood up, poured myself a glass of water, leaned on the counter. "Do you love him?" "I don't know." "Did you sleep with him?" Long pause. "No." "You expect me to believe that?" "Yes. Because it's the truth." I stared at her. And for the first time, I believed her. But it didn't matter. Because betrayal doesn't need a bed. It only needs a choice. And she made hers. Later that night, she tried to apologize. "I never meant to hurt you." "But you did." "It wasn't about you." "Then who was it about?" "Me." Honest. Finally. But that didn't make it better. It made it worse. Because she didn't cheat by accident. She did it because she wanted more. More of something I wasn't. And maybe she was right. Maybe I stopped being the version of myself she fell for. But I was still the man who held everything together. And when she tore it down, I didn't chase her. I just watched it fall. She didn't ask if I wanted to fix it. She didn't beg. She just sat there, quiet. Not defeated. Just emptied. Like someone who knew the game was over and still didn't understand how she lost. A few nights later, Lily asked why Mommy was sad all the time. I told her. Sometimes grown-ups make mistakes. Big ones. And sometimes the best thing you can do is let the silence teach them what words never could. She nodded like she understood. Maybe one day she truly will. I didn't yell. I didn't break a single thing in that house. But I broke something bigger. The illusion. The story she told herself. And now she had to live in what was real. The silence didn't scare her anymore. Because she thought it meant I was done being angry. She misunderstood. I wasn't done being angry. I was done waiting. I met with a lawyer 3 days after our last real conversation. I brought everything. Printouts. Photos. Messages. Dates. Names. The video from the dash cam. The TikTok Lily recorded. The screenshots of messages. She looked through the folder slowly. Didn't say much. Then finally asked, "Do you want to fight? Or do you want to end this clean?" I said, "I want peace. But I want truth first." We drew up the papers that day. Custody terms. Property split. Visitation. I didn't ask for everything. But I asked for Lily. At home, Ashley stayed quiet. She didn't know what was coming. I let her enjoy the last few days of pretending things could go back to normal. She folded laundry. Made dinner. Watched TV like a zombie. She never smiled. But she acted like she was still allowed to. Friday afternoon. Lily was at school. Ashley was in the kitchen, reheating soup. I walked in and placed a white envelope on the table. She glanced at it. Then at me. Didn't touch it. "What's that?" "What do you think it is?" She didn't answer. Just stared at it like it might vanish if she blinked enough. Finally, she reached for it. Opened it. Read the first line. And went pale. "You're divorcing me." It wasn't a question. It was a realization. I said nothing. She looked up. "You're serious." "I've never been more serious." You didn't even try to talk to me first." "No. I watched you lie to me for months. I talked to you in my head every night." She sank into the chair. "You're really going to do this?" "I already did." "What about Lily?" "She stays here. With me." That shook her. "You're taking her from me?" "No. You did that. When you dragged her into your secrets." Her hands started to tremble. She pushed the papers aside like they were burning her. "We can fix this." "No, Ashley. You want to fix you. But you broke us." Silence. She whispered. "You're being cruel." "No. I'm being honest. For once in this marriage, I'm not covering for you." The rest of the conversation barely mattered. She cried. Asked if there was still love somewhere. I didn't answer. Because that question didn't belong to her anymore. The next few days were cold. Not loud. Just empty. She slept in the guest room. Lily noticed, of course. Asked questions. Ashley told her, Mommy and Daddy are just giving each other space. I told her the truth. Mommy made a mistake. And now we have to figure out what's best. She didn't cry. She just nodded. Kids are stronger than we think. Ashley moved out 2 weeks later. Just a suitcase. One box of clothes. No big scene. No bags of tears. She walked to the car, opened the door, then turned and looked at me. You didn't even yell. You weren't worth yelling at. She swallowed that like a stone and drove off. I stood in the driveway for a long time, not because I missed her, because I finally understood. I never lost her. I just let go of who I thought she was. Then I walked back inside, and for the first time in a long time, it was quiet, but not empty. She moved out 2 weeks ago, took one suitcase, a box of clothes, left the rest, and for a while, it was quiet. Not peaceful, just quieter. Lily asked where she went. I told her mommy needed time. Lily just nodded and went back to her crayons. She didn't ask again. Ashley didn't message me for the first 3 days. Then, on the 4th, she sent one word. Lunch. I stared at it. No punctuation. No explanation. Just that. I didn't reply. Because what do you say to someone who didn't say sorry, but wants to order salad with you? She tried again 2 days later. Can we talk? Just about things. This time, I said yes. Not because I wanted to hear what she had to say, but because I needed to hear how she'd say it. We met at a small place halfway between her temporary apartment and my house. She was already there when I walked in. Hair done. Makeup light. That sweater I bought her last Christmas. She stood when she saw me. Smiled. I didn't smile back. We sat. She waited a few seconds, then opened with, "You look good. Let's skip that part." She nodded. Silence. Then, "I've been thinking about everything. About us. About what I did." I stayed quiet. I don't even know where to start. Try the truth. She looked down. I made a mistake. I let that hang for a moment. Then I said, "That's what people say when they regret getting caught." Her lips tightened, but she didn't push back. I didn't plan for it to happen. You planned to lie. I was lonely. So was I. I didn't sleep with someone over it. She reached for her glass, hands trembling. It wasn't about him. Not really. Then what was it? Feeling seen. Feeling like someone noticed me. You used to. Then you stopped. You stopped first. That hit her. I could tell. She looked away. You think I'm a monster? No. I think you're selfish. I think you were hurt, and instead of speaking up, you looked for an easier fix. He wasn't a fix. No. He was a mirror. He let you believe you were still the person you wanted to be, without having to fix the part of yourself you hated. Her face cracked a little. Not with tears. With shame. Real shame. But I wasn't there to rescue her from it. She reached into her bag and pulled out a folded paper. This is a list of counselors. For Lily. And maybe, for us. If you'd ever want to talk. I don't need counseling. Maybe I do. That's between you and your reflection. The waitress came. We didn't order anything. She asked if we needed more time. I said no. Ashley stood up. Can I see her sometime soon? Yes. As her mom. She paused. Not as your wife? That version of you doesn't exist anymore. She bit her lip. Then walked away. Didn't look back. That night, I sat with Lily on the couch. She was drawing a picture of the three of us. I watched her color in Ashley's hair. She looked up at me. Can we see mommy soon? Soon. Is she in trouble? I took a breath. She made a choice. And sometimes, grown-ups have to learn how to live with the choices they make. Are you mad at her? I looked at the drawing. Not anymore. Ashley called again 3 days later. I didn't answer. She left a voicemail. I know I hurt you, but please don't shut me out forever. I don't want to lose everything. I didn't call back. Not because I hated her, but because I didn't have anything left to give her. You can only rebuild something when there's something left to build on. And she burned the foundation. A week later, she came to pick up Lily for lunch. I watched them drive off. And for the first time, I didn't feel like I'd lost a family. I felt like I'd protected one. What came next didn't matter yet. All that mattered was this. Lily had a father who never lied to her, and a mother who finally had to face what truth really looked like. And that wasn't the end. It was the beginning. It's strange how quickly the world expects you to be fine. Once the divorce papers were filed, once Ashley moved out, once Lily settled into the new rhythm, people stopped asking if I was okay. They just assumed I was. And when I wasn't warm, or open, or smiling, they judged it. The first person to ask was my sister. Are you really not even going to try and talk to her? What would I say? I don't know. That you miss her? That you're sad? I'm not sad. She gave me a look like I just said I didn't believe in gravity. That's not healthy. Neither is pretending I lost something worth keeping. She didn't like that. but I wasn't trying to be liked. Then came my mom. Soft voice. Calm tone. A question she thought was safe. Do you think you might have pushed her away? That one stung. Not because I thought she was right, but because it showed me how little people really saw. She kissed another man while our daughter sat in the back seat. David. She lied every day for months, then looked me in the eye and blamed me for not making her feel seen. People make mistakes. Yeah, and some of them don't deserve a second chance. Silence. Then she said, I just don't want you to turn into someone hard. Too late. The thing no one tells you about betrayal is how isolating it is. Not just because you lose the person, but because everyone else keeps trying to explain them. She was lost. She was lonely. It wasn't personal. Not personal? She made it personal the day she let our daughter see her hold another man's hand like it meant something. She made it personal when she told Lily, Don't tell Daddy. That's not a mistake. That's a choice. Ashley started trying harder. Texting more. Short things at first. Can I take Lily to the park? Then, I miss being with all of us. Then finally, can we talk? I ignored most of it. Until one day she sent a photo. Old. From before everything. Lily on my shoulders, Ashley behind us, arms wrapped around me. We looked real. She captioned it. I wish I remembered how to be them. I stared at that picture for 10 full minutes. Not because I missed her. Because I missed being seen by someone who hadn't already left me once in their head. Later that week, Lily came home and told me something that stuck. Mommy said she wishes you weren't so mad all the time. I froze. Did she say that to you? To her friend. On the phone. I was in the car. And what do you think? She paused. Looked at her shoes. I think you're quiet. Not mad. Out of the mouths of children. That weekend, Ashley showed up early to drop Lily off. I opened the door. She looked different. Less makeup. More real. I just want to talk. Then talk. I'm not asking to fix it. Good. I just want to say. I know now what I did. And it's not just the affair. It's all of it. What changed? You. You stopped giving me chances to lie. I didn't reply. I don't blame you for hating me. I don't hate you. Then what? I don't need you. That cut deeper than anything I could have screamed. Because it was the truth. She left quietly. No hug. No tears. Just the sound of the door closing behind her. And the quiet that followed? It finally felt earned. People still talk. Still ask. Still wonder why I didn't try harder. But the ones who matter? They know. You don't fight to keep someone who never planned to stay. And the ones who try to guilt you for walking away? They weren't there. They didn't see her fingers in his hair. Didn't hear her whisper, Don't tell Daddy. Didn't watch her smile through every lie like it was easy. No. I'm not cold. I'm just no longer carrying her fire. And I've never slept better. Divorce is a strange kind of silence. It doesn't come all at once. It creeps in, through routines that used to feel automatic. One toothbrush instead of two. No voice coming from the shower. No footsteps walking down the stairs at 11 p.m. The quiet used to bother me. Now it feels earned. Lily adjusted better than I expected. Kids are resilient like that. She still asked about her mom. Still wanted to draw pictures of the three of us. But she didn't cry. She didn't seem scared. She just watched. The way kids do when they don't have the words for what's shifting. Ashley texted less now. She still picked Lily up on weekends. Still tried to smile when she saw me at the door. But something in her was different. Not performative. Not fake cheerful. Just tired. Like someone who finally realized the house she burned won't rebuild itself. I didn't feel joy when I saw her like that. I didn't feel anything. And that's what told me I was healing. One night, I sat on the couch flipping through old photos. Not because I missed her. Because I missed him. The version of me in those pictures. Smiling without caution. Holding her hand like it meant something unbreakable. Believing, like an idiot, that trust was permanent. I didn't cry. But I did sit there for a long time. Just looking. And realizing. That version of me isn't coming back. And that's okay. Friends started inviting me out more. Drinks. Games. Weekends. I went slowly. Laughed slowly. Talked about things other than the marriage. They still looked at me carefully, like I was fragile. But I wasn't. I was just starting over. One afternoon, I got a letter in the mail. No stamp. No return address. Just folded notebook paper. Ashley's handwriting. It read, I'm not writing to ask for anything. Not forgiveness. Not a second chance. I just want you to know that I see it now. Everything. What I did to us. What I did to you. I was selfish. I was careless. And I don't expect peace from you. But I hope you find peace because you deserve it. More than I ever did. I folded the letter, put it in a drawer. Not to keep it, just to mark it. Because that was the day I stopped feeling angry. Lily asked me once, "Do you still love Mommy?" I didn't flinch. "I love that she gave me you." She nodded. Didn't ask again. Sometimes kids don't need explanations. Just honesty. Ashley still comes around. To pick Lily up. To drop off a jacket. To ask about school plays. She smiles. Keeps it respectful. Doesn't try to re-enter my life. Just stands at the edge of it. Exactly where she belongs. And me? I sleep through the night now. I make breakfast without wondering who I'm cooking for. I look in the mirror without feeling like I'm apologizing to myself. This isn't the life I planned. But it's one I built, brick by honest brick. And that version of me? The one who thought love was bulletproof? He's gone. But the man who replaced him? He doesn't lie to himself. He doesn't beg for closure. And he never, ever confuses silence for peace again. Only one part left. And it says everything. A year has passed. Sometimes it feels like 10. Sometimes like 2 weeks. But when I wake up in the morning now, I don't check her side of the bed. Because it's not hers anymore. It never really was. People still ask about her. Not often. But enough. Do you talk? Has she changed? Do you miss her? The answer's yes. Maybe. No. She's still in Lily's life. She picks her up from school. Texts me updates. Sends photos from their weekends together. She's present now in a way she never was before. Ironic, really. She lost the marriage, but found the mother in her. A part of me respects that. But another part remembers how easily she risked it all. We haven't had a real conversation in months. Just handoffs. Shared calendars. Polite updates. But nothing deep. And honestly, I prefer it that way. She once told me, years ago, that she feared being ordinary. That the worst thing in the world was to live a life no one noticed. And I think that's what did her in. Not Ryan Blake. Not some big, tragic breakdown. Just boredom. And the belief that feeling seen is more important than being loyal. The last I heard of Ryan, he'd moved out of state. No more teaching license. No career. Nothing public. He never reached out to me. Didn't try to defend himself. Didn't even fight the termination. Maybe he knew. Maybe he played that game one too many times. But I never needed to watch him fall. He was never the threat. She was. People sometimes say I handled it too calmly. That I should have yelled. Thrown things. Gone to war. But what they don't understand is, I did. I just did it differently. I let her lie. Let her build a world on top of it. Then I pulled the foundation out. No noise. Just gravity. I kept the house. It feels different now. Not haunted. Just honest. There are no fake smiles at the dinner table. No silences with teeth behind them. No waiting for someone to admit what I already knew. Just me and Lily. And that's enough. Some nights, when she's asleep, I sit out back. Look at the sky. Think about the life I was supposed to have. The one with Ashley beside me. Lily between us. A quiet, happy ending. But we don't always get the ending we wanted. Sometimes we get the ending we needed. If you've read this far, maybe you're going through something. Maybe you're the one who got betrayed. Or maybe you're the one who did the betraying. Either way, here's what I know now. You don't have to scream to be strong. You don't have to punish someone to move on. And silence, real silence, it's not empty. It's earned. I didn't ruin her life. I just stopped saving it. And in the end, that was enough.